We have a mystery on our hands this week. The students in this room are the crew of the mighty ship, the Envisioneer. While in search of the ancient treasure, a key piece of our navigational map has gone missing. Of the entire crew, we have considered 4 suspects. Today you will hear the evidence collected against Dr. Smart and Shipwright Knapp.
Hello, we are the medical examiners. Today we will talk to you about emergency medicine and the model lung. First, we did emergency medicine because after a storm, many of the crew members on the Envisioneer had fractured limbs. So first, how you do the arm splint. You wrap the elbow. Then, you make sure it is secure so the arm does not fall out. Then, you wrap it with a bandage to make sure the splint stays on the arm. Now, Medical Examiner 2 will explain how to do the other splints.
Hello, I'm Medical Examiner 2, and I will be explaining the neck splint and the foot splint. The neck splint, you do it by making a dent in the splint and placing it here. Then wrap the splint as tight as you can around the neck so that the people you're adding the neck splint to can't move their head but can still breathe. Lastly, secure it with a bandage. Next up, the foot splint. First, you line the splint up with the back of the foot or ankle. Then, you pick up one side of the splint and wrap it around the foot snugly. Then, do the same with the other side. Lastly, secure it with a bandage. Next up, Medical Examiner 3 explaining the model lung.
Hi, hello, I am Medical Examiner 3, and I will be explaining our lung model. I will explain how you this because one of the members of the crew had a collapsed lung. So to do this, you will need a straw, balloon, and rubber band. You will put the straw and tie it with a rubber band. Then make a hole in a cup like this. It can be like this or it can be clear. Then you put the straw and balloon into the hole, then seal it with clay. Put a rubber band right here. Now I'm going to go to Medical Examiner 4 to explain how it works.
Hi, I'm Medical Examiner 4, and I'm going to tell you how it works. First, I'm going to tell you what the body parts are. So this resembles the nose or throat that's coming down from the lung to the lungs. This resembles the chest cavity. The balloon inside resembles the lungs, and the bottom balloon resembles the diaphragm.
Hi, I am an engineering specialist, and today I will be talking about why we built the M-bot and the bridge. We built the M-bot because we needed to get up to a part of the island which wasn't safe for humans to go to retrieve missing crew members.
Hi, I'm an engineering specialist, and today I'm going to be talking about how we built the M-bot. We built the M-bot, well, first we put the chassis, which is that blue part, onto the M-bot, and then next we screwed on the motors onto the chassis. After that, we screwed on the wheels, which just then once we put the wheels on, we put a little mini wheel underneath to help it balance. Next we screwed on the sensor in the front to help it make sure it doesn't run into anything. Next, we screwed on the battery pack and put a pack of batteries in it. After that, I screwed on the motherboard and plugged in all of the wires, and you have the M-bot.
We found that the M-bot was fun and challenging at some parts, and that it was a little hard to put together, and that we found that the little bolts that we use
on the end bar come off, and this can break easily. So you have to be careful with it, but overall the end bars are fun.
We built the bridge for the M-Bot to get across the water because of the flooding to get back to the crew.
We built the bridge. Paper clips, paper, tape, and straws. First, we bended the paper clips and put the straws in to make triangles in different shapes, so that we could make the layout of the bridge. Then we taped on paper so it's like the road. To test the bridge to see if it works, we grabbed our M-Bot and see if it can drive.
Hello, today I'll be talking about a heart because a crew member was suffering from a heart attack. A heart attack occurs when a flow of blood to the heart is being blocked. The blockage is mostly built up of fat and cholesterol, which form a plaque in the arteries that feed the heart. Did you know that sometimes a plaque can rupture and form a clot that blocks blood flow? The interrupted blood flow can damage or destroy parts of the heart muscle. Some symptoms of a heart attack are nausea, heartburn, shortness of breath, and lightheadedness.
Hi, I'm going to tell you about a snake bite. We did a snake bite because Jan got bitten by an honest snake, and you're trying to figure out which snake is it. We did it by reading the full snake's description and found out it was a Mayan that Smart was lying about that he said the snake was neurotoxic, but it really was a hemotoxic.
The two different types of snakes are neurotoxic snakes and hemotoxic snakes. Neurotoxic snakes, the venom affects the nerves, while the hemotoxic snakes have venom that affects your blood. The venom of the hemotoxic snakes makes your blood really chunky. I'm going to tell you about two different types of snakes. The king cobra. King cobras are about 20 feet long and venomous. The venom leads to paralysis and muscle weakness. Red-tailed green rat snake is not venomous but has a big mouth. It can be 7.5 feet long. Its blue tongue flickers when aggravated.
We did the blood splatter experiment to figure out which blood drop came from which height. Dr. Smart's cut was on his hand, Robert Ness was on his head, and Cindy Young's was on her shin.
We dropped blood from different heights and then measured them. The heights we dropped them from were 12, 30, and 66 inches. Then we measured the diameter of the blood drops in millimeters.
Once we measured the blood drops, we found the blood drops from the scene of the crime, and we measured the diameter of those and found out that these were dropped from 30 inches, which could have been Robert Neff or Dr. Smart from their hand or from their head if they were bent over.
On Sunday, we investigated 4 powders and 1 mystery powder. The 1 mystery powder was found on the ship of the crime scene. We did it to see what the mystery powder was. We found that the mystery powder had cornstarch-like attributes, therefore we found it was cornstarch.
We found this by analyzing 4 other powdery-like substances: powdered sugar, cornstarch, baking soda, and cream of tartar. We tested their chemical reactions with liquid iodine and vinegar and found that cornstarch had the same chemical reactions that the mystery powder did.
Yesterday, we investigated fingerprints in order to find out who was guilty of committing the crime, and we found out that both Dr. Smart and Robert Neff were working together in order to steal the map and take the treasure.
How we did the fingerprints was we got a cup with about 4 fingerprints on it. We got a brush and a cup of cocoa powder. We dusted the cocoa powder onto the cup, and then we matched up the fingerprints from all 4 of the suspects with the fingerprints on the cup, and we found out that it was Robert Neff and Dr. Smart.
Based on the evidence our STEM group has collected, we believe that Dr. Smart and Shipwright Neff are guilty of stealing the ancient map.